Hey guys, welcome back to the channel with more of The Expanse. This is Season 3, Episode 10, and at the end of last episode, Holden just jumped freaking off the Rocinante towards the Nucleus thing. Kamina, Drummer, and Ashford, everybody's through the belt now. Mars is through the belt, the belt is through the ring. Everybody's through the ring. The belt is through the ring, the Mars is through the ring, and the civilian delegation... most of the civilians went back, but that ship, the Thomas Prince, is going through the ring as well. And Anna's on board. Meanwhile, Naomi jumped ship. Not literally jumped, but she jumped ship and is heading towards Holden and Amos and Alex on the Rocinante. We also have Monica and Cohen, who should have been recovered by the MCRN. Not entirely sure if that's happened yet. If we'll see the aftermath and... if we'll see them talking to the MCRN, trying to tell them that Holden and the others are innocent, or what. Very curious how this is all going to go down. Of course, Miller showed up again to tell Holden to get a move on. But yeah, excited to continue. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started.
Thanks. Both of you for everything.
Fuck. I haven't been sleeping very well since we got the orders to go through this thing.
In the face of all this, sleep seems disrespectful, maybe?
It would seem more like terrifying.
She's exhilarated.
Excuse me.
She wants to revel in it. Whoa. And can you see little tiny Holden?
Looks similar to the ring.
Makes sense it would be the same technology. Sorry, Master.
He's freaked out. I'm freaked out.
We are ordering you to break off. You have been fairly warned. Shoot that out.
Same to you. Also.
Stand by for final clearance to drop.
She's on that ship?
That is, they're headed straight for that thing in the center.
Has to be Holden. That's definitely his style.
So he's crazy.
I suppose you could make that
Is that
argument.
Simu Liu?
Fantastic.
But I don't believe he would blow up the sun moon. That's definitely not his style.
What are you doing?
Trying not to get caught.
Too fast. Slow down. $17,996. You freaking.
Just exercising some free will.
He's being an asshole.
We're playing way out of our league here.
That's been true ever since we've been sharpening sticks and going after lions. But we're still here. I get it. Alien shit. I haven't felt fear since I was 5 years old.
Man, I wish I could go through life without feeling fear.
No,
You don't.
you don't. I had this friend. And she said if the end ever came, she'd grab a bottle and her two cats and go to the roof, have a toast, and then jump.
With the cats?
With the cat.
Fucking Pharaoh. Don't worry. I'll take you with me too.
That's comforting, I guess.
My
What?
best guess is that it...
Inertia. That's the whole body's in motion and resting.
Yes.
I feel like there's a sex joke in there somewhere.
But
I'm not finding it. You okay?
very obviously not.
Bobby Draper here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to... Sorry, Bobby. I wasn't talking to you.
Are you on another channel?
What?
No.
No. I mean, yes. Another channel. Will you just shut up for
Who
a
are you
second?
talking to, Holden?
I didn't blow up the sun moon, and Alex and Amos had nothing to do with it either. I gotta go.
Maybe you want to slow down now. Okay. It's opening up for him. That looks mechanical.
There used to be
civilization billions of years ago. But now, all that's left
It
is
used to
a bunch
be.
of locked doors and some lights and a timer.
So what do we do?
We figure out how to pick the locks.
How fast did he decelerate from 18 frickin' thousand? Like, he had to be just decelerating for a while, right? To get down to 0 without hurting himself? Is he about to do what Amos said? Shh.
The ring. How does that make you feel?
Kind of makes me want a donut.
He's charming. Don't hate him.
Captain can run their ship however they choose to.
Captain should be you.
And I've drunk real Earth whiskey out of the UN Admiral's mug and then scuttled her ship. And I've seen friends breathe the vacuum and watched my only child burn. So when I tell you to tread carefully, you would do well to stop talking.
You are a fancy hand terminal with a lot of buttons. And I push a few trillion of them buttons in exactly the right way. Ta-da! You're talking to Miller. Sound of his voice, the clothes he wore.
Plus a hat.
Yeah, I like the hat. Calculus, amoeba. Funky, Mozart.
Rude.
What happened?
He was cleaning his sidearm and accidentally discharged the weapon.
Accidentally.
Thank you, ma'am.
She's gonna feel bad for not paying attention more.
You look grim. Who died?
Someone actually
Somebody die?
He killed himself.
Jesus, I'm sorry. Hey, it's not your fault.
Well, he was begging for hope, and I was too distracted.
Sorry.
recognize her. Oh.
We can treat each other gently. Reach out to those in need. It will increase our joy and diminish our pain, and it will honor Jordan. Are you going to reach out to her? You think I should? I think you should do what you think is right. You can trust your judgment. You obviously don't know me very well.
This feels like 1G.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You got atmosphere, too. Get your hat off. Show some respect. Complete that circuit.
What happens when I do?
The answer to the case. Or maybe just the next clue.
Complete the circuit with what you just put your arm in, and is that good enough of a conductor?
Tick tock, tick tock. Finish the job.
Is Miller in there? Or is it just a heap of protomolecule pushing my button?
You're running out of time, kid.
Not good enough.
Touching that thing could end up killing everyone I love.
The same people she died to save.
No risk, no reward.
And she was already gone, wasn't she? She couldn't feel any more pain, but you could. Did it kill you? Did it tear you apart one atom at a time? Or did you burn?
I bet you will all praise for me, yeah? How important it is to respect the captain and so on. That way when the turn comes and you take over, they all know it was because you had to. No choice.
Oh, we have a problem. We need to work it out.
Or else what?
This is headed somewhere not good.
Clarissa?
Tilly, no. She's gonna hurt you.
I want to help you.
Help me.
God damn it.
I tried to be the angel, but I was so scared. And I told her, if you fall with me, It ain't gonna be for halfway.
It's good to see you, Miller.
Holden! Holden, stay where you are.
You stay where you are. Do not take another step,
Holden!
or we will shoot.
Yeah, I didn't think so. If you're really gonna do... Don't hurt them! Holden, if you need, you're gonna do it, do it. No.
Now or never, Holden. Finish it.
What the heck is... Did he just... His mind just synced with it or something? The bird. Man, Simu only lasted one episode. What? Sensory overload. What the frick happened? What the frick just happened? Come on, tell me, I need to know. So wow, that flashback was interesting, where, yeah, it was just reversing time, showing us what happened with the protomolecule, and then what happened with the nucleus destroying a star. It made Holden, like, scream. This episode is this book is just opening up a whole new can of worms, I feel like. And yeah, welcome back, Bobby Draper, and what the heck, Simu Liu. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Simu Liu. I first saw him on Kim's Convenience, and yeah, he's super interesting that his mother on the show was Martian captain from the Donnager, Captain Yao. So fun to see him here in such a small role, because like since this episode, he's been recently announced as the lead of Shang-Chi in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So he's gonna be a superhero, and yeah, it's just nice to see people who hit it big back when they were much smaller. But yeah, we're starting to see how the existence of the ring changes people, and sometimes doesn't change people. In the face of something new, some people do like things completely differently. Some people continue on like always. Like with Anna's story, she was so exhilarated to go through the ring to be part of this monumental moment of human history. And it makes her realize that she kind of let go of her identity and let herself forget her role in the world as a mother, a wife, a pastor, someone who brings people together with words. And so first, her selfishness drew her away from her family. And yeah, I don't know that I can say that she's a selfish person, but she did something selfish in that moment. She decided to go through the ring instead of going back to her family. And I wouldn't argue that the soldier Nemirov's death was her fault. A soldier or officer, I don't know. But she's going to blame herself so much for it, and she'll carry it with her. And then she passes through the ring. It's like almost spiritual. Like some people firewalk to prove that they can do anything, and some say it's like a life-changing experience. It gives them the confidence. But with this, it makes her feel like she's part of something so much bigger. And yeah, it changes a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So maybe maybe if she wasn't a doctor or reverend, maybe she would want to be an adventurer. Maybe both aren't her true calling and she just happened to miss out. People do live to 150, so if she didn't have a family that she needed to go back to, would she just fancy a change in occupation right now to like explore or something? There are going to be a lot of if they can get the gate open again with all those different portals to different areas in the universe, I'm sure she wouldn't be tempted. She would just long for it while going back home, I feel like. And then everything that the Nucleus has caught is now floating around in orbit around it, which is really interesting. And Alex, meanwhile, is freaking out. And so we finally get a little bit of a follow-up to his like anxious state back at the Blue Falcon, where he's just like, he drew the gun on like this guy and was like, he was like shaking. And Amos was the one who calmed him down. And again, here he is the calm one. His response when Alex says like, we're out of our league here, and he says like, that's been true ever since we've been sharpening sticks and going after lions, but we're still here. Very, very nice line. And he says he hasn't been afraid of anything since he was 5. What the heck happened to him back then? I mean, we know he worked in a brothel, but I don't know, he kind of talked about it in a way that implies that he didn't feel like he was kind of okay with what he did in his past, whereas not being afraid till you're 5, I don't know. And what price did he pay to never have to feel fear again? And beyond that, fear is important. Like, it tells us where our boundaries are, where danger is, and like pushing past it can be exhilarating. I actually used that same word with Anna. Like, does she feel fear in all this as well, like passing through the ring? Is she just on a constant high because she's chosen to do something dangerous, something she fears, something she would be justified in being very afraid of? Anyway, speaking of Anna, she speaks with Tilly after Tilly recognizes Clarissa Mao, and it was a very bad move for her to go confront Clarissa on her own. Thankfully, the ring sensed danger in that moment from the guns and grenades and like lowered the speed limit and threw everybody for a loop, and so Tilly might not be dead. I like Tilly. She's cute and fun. Her joke about like inertia, like the whole body in motion stay in motion. There's a sex joke in somewhere. That was very funny. And she's charming. Back to Amos. He talks about a friend who said she'd jump and kill herself if she saw that the world was about to end. Who took her cats with her, and he promises to take Alex with him if that happens, which is so comforting, I guess. Like, leave me the heck alone. I want to live till the very last moment. But yeah, it foreshadows Nemirov killing himself, and you could feel he was scared, but to go that far. And they said he was cleaning his gun, and Anna says it's a euphemism. Like, never knew that was a common thing to say, like he died cleaning his gun. Like, is that commonly used to say someone committed suicide? I've never actually known about that. I've heard people like misfiring when they're cleaning their gun, but I never linked it with suicide. And then Drummer and Ashford butt heads on the Behemoth. Diogo wants to start a freaking uprising and put Ashford in charge. This reckless boy. But yeah, actually Ashford squashes any notion of that. And I keep thinking he's going to be duplicitous, but like maybe now is not the right time, but he's actually making me feel like it's possible he's just trying to do the right thing, and do things the right way. But even not Naomi, even Drummer is suspicious of him. She's just like, oh, you undermined me in front of my crew, and I bet you were talking all nice about me after I left, because when you take over, you want it to be because you had no choice. And he says, like, we have a problem, and we need to solve it. I guess there are multiple ways to interpret that, but my interpretation was like, we need to get on the same page. We need to be working together, not tearing each other apart, because we're actually working for the belts. And I'm hoping he's on her side. But I still have a sinking feeling he's going to be in charge at some point. And I mean, as someone who wants to make the belt work together with Earth and Mars, he shouldn't do anything that terrible, but I'm still like nervous about it. One coincidental thing was I was asking how fast Holden decelerated from 18 kilometers per hour to 0 kilometers per hour. Like how many G-forces that was, because he seemed to do that really, really fast. And I was like, he wouldn't hurt himself. And as I was saying that the shot, as I was saying that, like, oh, like, wouldn't that hurt himself? Like, the shot was on Nemirov while he was walking into his room to kill himself. So that was like a big coincidence. So I did actually calculate an estimate as to how fast Holden decelerated. So I have to assume they skipped over a lot of him like decelerating, because he went from 18,000 kilometers per hour to 0 in about 10 seconds, which is approximately 51 G-forces. Which just, no, he can't do that. Unless there's something in his suit that lets him do that. Like, we know that they need to like inject something when they're on the ship when they're at high G's, and I looked up like how many G's people can survive in like real life, and somebody did it up to 40 something, but like Holden didn't even look like he was stressing at all. So either there's some technology I'm not aware of in his suit, or they just skipped over some time with him decelerating. And maybe it could be also that my math is wrong, but I don't know. You guys check my math too. 18,000 to 0 in 10 seconds. But yeah, Holden didn't want to act and complete the circuit just yet, because he was afraid he was just being like manipulated. Like, he's just being shown Miller, and like, sure, Miller has saved his life a couple times as the protomolecule, but it could very well just be self-serving to get him to this moment. But then Proto Miller disappears, and the real Miller supposedly comes back, but the protomolecule could very easily simulate that. And this whole story that Miller said Julie told him, I don't remember the story about the angel. Am I just forgetting about that, or like did Protomolecule make that up to get Holden to do what he wanted? Because I don't remember like the let's fall together and whatever. I do remember like everything that happens to you happens to me or something, but nothing about an angel or a children's story. So I think he just said it to have Holden put his hand in. And we're also told that this was all done by a civilization that existed billions of years ago. So let me get this straight. Like, billions of years ago, they sent the protomolecule here. It lands on Phoebe. And then humans find it billions of years later. But all along, it was meant to like create a portal in this area to the solar system. Side effects may include crystals growing out of your mouth, death, taking over a floating space station. But so the investigator is trying to see why the gate isn't working as intended anymore. So along with the death or extinction of this alien race, the gates were all closed too, until Holden comes and sticks his hand in the thingy. I don't know if that'll open things up, or if it seemed like he was just like overloaded with information and like synced with the consciousness of this thing. But I have to imagine they're going to open up gates again, right? But yeah, he sees so many visions of everything, and at first everything is going backwards in time, but then near the end it goes forward, like the gates start disappearing, and the Nucleus shoots something into one of the gates and destroys a star, and that coincides with Holden yelling. So in destroying the star, it becomes blue, but did it explode protomolecule everywhere to help further the spreading of these rings, since they were starting to close for one reason or another? And what was their goal in creating so many gates? To find resources. It's possible they were running out of resources, and that's why they opened these gates, and then they died out. Maybe they wanted to explore, and then who or what destroyed them? Did they destroy themselves? Did they fire on that star because someone there was a threat to the rings? And yeah, there are a lot of things that it could possibly be, but we have no answers just yet. Oh, and sorry about the siren outside just as Holden touches the thing. I actually barely hear it when I'm watching a show, because I've like got the show in my ears. But like my recording software does have like a noise suppressor thing, and I've tried it out, but it actually makes, I'm pointing at my mic, it's actually on my computer, But yeah, I've tried it out, but it actually makes my voice kind of like metallic sounding, and I don't have a solve beyond like make more money and move to a place off of Queens Boulevard where there aren't sirens all the time. So I'll figure it out at some point. Or I'm sorry, you're gonna have to deal with it until I can do that. But yeah, I also love the irony of Miller creating like breathable air for Holden and like telling him to take off his hat to show some respect when he still has his hat on. Freaking Miller. I call him Protomolecule. It's hard to say. Protomolecule. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Holden just like faints, and in a very comical way. I felt like I loved a lot of different characters throughout this series. Christian has been missing since the first episode of book 3, which makes sense. Her story isn't that relevant at the time. But yeah, really liked Bobby, really liked Amos, and Naomi and Alex were growing on me too. Drummer was great, but then I have to say, like, Holden has been growing. Like, he's sneaked up on me. Sneaked. That reminds me of that Conan O'Brien interaction with Hilary Swank, where she's like, "Sneaked isn't a word, and you went to Harvard, and you should know that." And then he finds it in the dictionary and is like, "Ha! Sneaked! Past tense of sneak." Okay, God. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Holden has quietly snuck into like being one of my favorite characters just for he's just so funny. The way he fell over was just really comedic as well, because he was just like going through everything and then like I don't know, something about him falling over was really funny. I'm gonna give this episode a 9.5. I feel like we're escalating so much. Like, this show has just been on fire recently. Like I said earlier maybe in the season, I think I gave like the first season, the average score for the first season was like a 7.7, and the average score for the second season was like an 8.7, and now it's like, let me see, 36 plus 9.5 plus 9.75 plus 9 plus 10 plus 9.5 plus 9.5 divided by 10. Yeah, now it's 9.3.25. So 9.325. So this show just keeps getting better. I only have 3 episodes left, but when I catch up, or I have 3 episodes left of the season, but we also have 10 episodes in season 4. So that's cool. Anyway, guys, excited to find out what the heck is going on. I mean, I guess the Martians will take Holden back. Simu Liu died after 1 freaking episode. Poor guy. Poor family. My headcanon, like I said, is that he is the daughter of Captain Yao, and now both of them are dead. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. We're also 1 week ahead over there as well. Rest of the episodes are in the playlist in the description as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.